speaking section, actually IELTS Speaking Test. And to be more specific, I'm going to talk to you about how to deal with the stress on the speaking test. So I'm gonna wait a couple of minutes for people to come. And before I get to the topic, I want to say that speaking test is a part of the IELTS test. It is normally taken on a different day than reading, listening, and writing, than the written part of the test. But it could be held on the same day as well. So a lot of people are kind of afraid of the speaking test most, because that's where you have to talk, obviously, and people are kind of just afraid to talk. Or maybe some people can panic during the test. So that's what we're going to discuss today: how to get rid of that stress, how to help yourself manage the stress. And if you use the techniques I am going to share with you, I promise you, you'll be fine. You'll be able to talk confidently, and you will probably have a very, very good score. You will get a good score. That all depends on you, trust me. I mean, it's in your hands. You're the only one who's responsible for it, and you're the only one who can make it happen, with the help of some great teachers like me. Okay, so I can see some people listening right now can't really know who it is. You can just text something, you can write in the chat, say your name, say hi. My name is Louisa, by the way, if I haven't said that already. My name is Louisa. I am an IELTS expert. I know a lot about this exam. I know everything about this exam, so you can address your questions if you have any. Vedata Aydemir, hi. You probably were present on my last stream, if I remember correctly. Samira Husseinova, hi. It's good to see you. Welcome to the live stream. It's great to see you guys here. What is your religion? That's the question, but I think it's irrelevant. It doesn't matter what my religion is. I am here to educate people, to bring knowledge to anyone who needs it. And I guess anyone of any religion needs to take IELTS, right? So it doesn't really matter what religion I am. I have respect for all religions in the world. I have respect for all nations, and I am always for peace. I am against all kinds of wars. Doesn't matter, based on religion, on politics, on anything, on the territory, etc. So I hope I answered your question. So let's get started then. I can see that there are guys, MMM, I have no idea who you are. You could just write your name, just like Vedata Aydemir or Samira Husseinov. So you know my name, right? You can see it on my profile. I can tell it to you right now. My name is Louisa. My surname is Gulieva. So I am here. I'm a real person with a real name, with a real face, as you can see. So I'd like to know, even if you have a nickname which is not the same as your name, as your personal name, so you could just write in your name and say hi. You could also say where you're from, so I could know where you're watching from. So guys, to the speaking test. Let me just remind the topic: how to deal with the stress on the speaking test. Rule number one, it is to practice as much as you can before the test day. I can't stress enough how important it is to practice. Practice. You can repeat it like 100 times. Do it every day as much as you can. Every single chance you get, you should practice. And that said, you can get books on speaking tests, lots of questions. You can get them online. You can get them everywhere. You can buy books. You can buy, look them up online. You can ask teachers to give you questions. You can ask your friends to give you questions, etc., etc. There are many ways to get speaking questions for the IELTS. Then you can also, you have to get recent exam questions on the internet. If you just Google, recent IELTS exam questions, speaking questions, you will get tons of information. And trust me, it will help you. So especially every quarter, because every quarter speaking questions change, say January, February, and March. January, February, March. So in March, probably in April, the questions will change. The questions will change. So you will probably not get the previous questions, but if you fall into that quarter, you will probably have the same questions as everyone else did in the whole world. I had the same situation when I was taking my exam. And I was lucky that I prepared for some of the questions that I read online. All right, so do recent questions, practice recent questions. Let's say the technique number 3, practice with strangers. Practice with strangers. It is so important because when you go to examination, you will see a person who you don't know completely. You don't know that person absolutely, and you can panic. If you see someone you don't know and they start asking you questions, and because English is not your native language, so there's a lot of pressure from the question itself, from the stranger, and also from the language not being your native language, right? So that's why it's important to practice with strangers. How can you do that? Well, first of all, go to conversation clubs. You can find some language schools with, sometimes conversation clubs are even free. So there is a person asking me a question. Please, I have a question. Yeah, go ahead. Ask your question while I'm explaining. And then once I make a pause, I can answer your question, no problem. So there are many platforms also, such as Cambly. I know it works in Turkey, and I know it works in many other places as well. You just have to check it for your own country. Cambly, Preply, many platforms that teach online, and you have a chance to book with different teachers. I had this problem before when I met a stranger, and I had to speak to that person. I would panic. I would just, I would become introverted immediately. It would be just so hard for me to talk to anyone that I didn't know. I would panic. I wouldn't be able to find the words. It was just so hard. But as I started on Cambly, I started meeting different people, and maybe from the 10th time, when I booked my 10th class with a foreign teacher, of course, that are all native there, it was just so easy. It was like a peach, it was so easy. And now, whenever I meet a foreign person whose native language is English, I can talk to them as if I've known them my whole life. It's just so easy for me now. So there's a person asking me about search about the Islam religion. So what is it about the Islam religion you want to share? I think, you know what, the thing is, this is, I'm not gonna argue which religion is the best, which is the true one. Like I said, I have respect for all religions, and this is probably not the best place to preach your religion. Okay, so it's great that you have trust in God. It's great that you are religious. That's great. Many people are. I believe in God, and that's the most important thing. Okay, so let's move on. Technique number 4 that I'd like to share with you is the breathing technique. So sometimes it happens that when you have to perform, I think a lot of people have had this situation when you have to talk to a lot of people, especially who you don't know. You have to, you can panic. You can, your heartbeat can raise. Sometimes you just stop and you can't breathe and you can't find the words to say. Even if you have prepared for a long time, you might feel like you have forgotten everything, like your mind is just blank. You might have that feeling. And in order to deal with that, you have to breathe really deeply for a couple of minutes. So imagine you have to go into the exam room in a few seconds, in a few minutes, and you get into this panic where you can't do anything. And you can't just tell yourself, okay, like stop thinking about it. I mean, everything is fine, because your body is telling you something different. So you just have to stop for a second and start breathing. Just start breathing, Once you start breathing deeply, like 10 times, you will feel how your heartbeat goes down. It becomes normal. Your body starts to breathe fully and freely, and your mind calms down as well. And that will help you. Your voice will come out fine. Your thoughts will get in order. And also, you can have some water. Always get a water with you. You can have it a couple of minutes before the test. You can have it. So try that. Not try, like, I mean, it's a lifesaver, really. It's a lifesaver. Just, keep it in mind. If you get into that situation at any point in your life where you have to speak, but you can't, just do the breathing. So I have a question, like not question, but a comment from Vedat Aydemir, who says, I'm Turkish and I'm living in Russia. Because of that, I have a strong accent. Does it affect my score during examination? Very good question, Vedat. Thank you for the question. As a matter of fact, your accent doesn't matter in the exam. That's good news, right? So you can, as long as you're clear, as long as your speech is clear, you can have an accent. For example, I know that, what can I say? So for instance, some Russian people can say have instead of have, right? They can have like have a little bit, have. They sound a bit different, right, than the standard English. But if it's clear and if it's not like a bad mistake, then your score is not going to be affected by your accent. But if you pronounce the wrong sounds, for instance, if you say he instead of he, right, that's a mistake. Or for example, maybe because you're Turkish, I'm gonna point it out to you. Some Turkish people say what instead of what. Yeah, what, like, what is your name? For instance, Turkish people sometimes say, what's your name? What's your name? That's a bit wrong. It could be, they could just ignore it, but they could also say, what is the wrong pronunciation. What is the correct pronunciation? Not what, yeah? But what's your name? What's your name? So if you pronounce the word wrong, if the sound is wrong, then it will be a mistake. If it's just an accent, but it's clear, right? If the person can understand you, it's just an accent because of the country, all right? Because you have it just because you come from a particular country, your score will not be affected. Some more people are coming in. Sebiha Akta, Türkiye'den selam. Okay, hi. It's good to see you. Welcome to this chat. We're talking about speaking techniques, how to perform well on the speaking test, how to handle stress, how not to fall into the trap of stress, all right, while you're going to exam. And the last thing, I would say, what is it? Preparation, recent questions, practice with strangers, breathing technique, and five. I would say it's five. Yeah, technique five. Technique five, I would say it's an approach. Okay, think of the examiner as your friend. That will help a lot. Just think about it. You go to an exam and you're afraid of this person, right? You're afraid. You're thinking to yourself, oh my God, what it's going to be like. What if this person doesn't like me, or what if he thinks I don't know, I'm not good enough, I'm stupid, or something like that. I am saying this because many times I have thought these thoughts. So I'm sharing with you so that maybe you might have the same thoughts in your head. So let me just tell you, please don't. Please stop these thoughts, all right? And just imagine, like, that examiner is a normal person just like you, and he or she is just doing their job, right? And they want to have a conversation with you. They don't have the aim to fail you, right, or to make you feel bad. On the other hand, on the contrary, if they hear some nice ideas from you, they will be quite glad. Just imagine, it's their job. They're probably even bored, like, to do this work all day long. Students come in and out. So maybe if you are friendly with them, if you are smiling, if you're confident, if you just talk to them as if you're talking to a friend, that will give them some pleasure. It can help them, you can help them make their day, right? So I can see more people are coming in. Mr. Emo, hi, welcome to this chat, welcome to this live stream. It would be great if you could tell your name, all right, and not just because it's your nickname, and people in the chat don't know who you are, all right? And Nurlan Rustamov, hi from Azerbaijan. Ali Alizadeh, hello there. So you're saying Melime Chosalon, you're welcome. Teoman Timuçin, hi from Turkey. Maybe I have already said hello to you, but I just don't remember. Kırmızı, there. Is that your nickname, Kırmızı? Anyways, Ahmad Yusuf said hello. I don't know if you're still here. So hi everyone. Naren Bash, hi, welcome to this chat. Your name is Naren. Yeah, I can see that. From your name. Some people here in the chat, they just don't have their names written down. It's just their nickname. So it would be great if you could just share your name and say hi to everyone. So we're kind of creating this community where people can share questions, answer each other's questions if you can help each other, especially if you're from the same country and you speak the same language. It would be great if you could help each other. So let me just recap what I've said before. We've talked about these techniques that you could use before you go to the test, to the exam, to the speaking test. This is actually true about any kind of test, not just the IELTS test, right? It refers to any kind of exam where you have to speak, right? And by the way, any kind of I would say speaking performance, even if you have to give a speech, this would be relevant as well. Let me just recap. So, and by the way, have you noticed that most of the techniques you have to use before you go to the real test? not during the test. During the test, I mean, before you enter the room, maybe if you feel panicky, and if you get into panic, you can just start breathing, and that will help. You can just have some water, and that will help. But all other things that you have to do for the exam, you have to do before the test day. And those were, let me just recap: practice as much as you can. Practice all kinds of questions, all kinds of topics. If you practice a lot, you will feel ready. And if you feel ready, you will feel more confident. And that's like so important during the speaking test. Technique number 2 was check the recent exam questions. You can check them online and practice them. So when you go to the test, most probably you will get 1 or 2 questions that you have seen online. So you can get lucky. There's no guarantee, but you can get lucky. Many people get lucky. The next one, practice with strangers, as many people as you can. Find those new people, find them and talk to them, so that when you meet a new person, that will be no problem for you. You can just talk to them as if you have known them for all of your whole life. Okay. Next, what was the breathing technique? Breathe deeply, breathe calmly. Your heartbeat will come down. It will get to your normal rate, and you will be able to talk like with your normal voice, without it shaking, without your hands trembling. So, and you can just answer the questions. And imagine that examiner is your friend. That person there, would be happy if you were friendly, if you were smiling, if you were, a good companion for the conversation, if you could have a good conversation. Yeah, I know it's not like a real conversation. It's like more like a one-sided talk, but they will listen to you. It would be great if you could have interesting ideas. It would be great if you could be friendly with them. It would be just great. If I was the examiner, I would just love, to hear your ideas, to hear the way you talk, your opinions on different questions. It would be great. So, Mehmet Arpacık, yes. Hey, you're asking me if I know any other languages. Yeah, I speak Russian, I speak Azeri, a little bit of Turkish. I speak very little Turkish. Yeah, I know those languages. And obviously I speak English, as you can see. Guys, have you got any questions about the test? Have you got the questions about the test? About the speaking test, I mean? I can wait. You can ask your questions. You can ask your questions about anything related to the speaking test, anything related to, any kind of information about the speaking test. While I'm waiting for your questions, I think I'm going to be here for like 5 more minutes, and then we will wrap it up if there are no questions. So I want to tell you that a big part, like a huge part, I would even say tremendous part of your success depends on your vocabulary, on how many words you know and how many words you can use correctly. And I have a course, if you're interested, if you're going to prepare for the IELTS, I have a course, vocabulary course, where I use the most common IELTS words, and I give examples from real IELTS tests. I give examples in like reading. You can actually look at some of my lessons on Udemy. You can find the link in my profile, on my YouTube profile. So I would truly recommend, if you're interested, if you want to improve your vocabulary, it's academic, it is made especially for the IELTS test, then it will help you, I promise you, because I would say 90%, I truly believe And I'm definitely sure in that 90% of your result of your success at the exam, be it IELTS or TOEFL or any kind of exam, I would say, depends, I mean English exam, depends on your knowledge of the vocabulary. Because if you understand the words you hear and you read, then you can get the text, right? You can get the meaning, and that's the most important thing. The rest, 10%, I think depends on how well you know the test itself. I mean, the format of the test, what kind of questions there are, how to answer them and stuff. But that's easy to learn. You can learn it like in a couple of days, you know, how to answer the questions if you understand the meaning. Okay, you speak wonderfully and very instructively. Yeah, well, I would love to get some advertisement. Thank you for that, Idemir. It would be lovely. Thank you. Thank you for your help. I'm just yeah, you know, I am actually pressured for time, and I can't do a lot of promotion myself. But I'm in the process of doing that at the moment. So yes, it would be lovely if you could share my account. I mean, my profile. So, where are you from? I'm from Azerbaijan. I am from Azerbaijan, but I speak Russian as my second language. I speak a little bit of Turkish, just a little bit. I'm based in Izmir at the moment. Yeah. So there are more people coming in. I can see. Excuse me. Let me just go up a bit and have a look. Valerian, bu bizden yapar bu. I don't really understand what you're saying. Could you please, guys, write in English? It would be just so cool if you could write in English, because that way everyone, including me, would understand it. Okay, so that would be just so lovely. Abdul Rezak, right? Abdul Rezak. Hi, Abdul Rezak. Welcome to this chat. Turkish people, hello, welcome. It's great to see you. Muhammad Numan, hello. Batu, hello. Hi. Hey, guys. Everyone from Turkey. Most people are from Turkey. I don't know why. Probably, you know, YouTube. YouTube algorithms work this way. It's probably because I am in Izmir. Maybe that's why you can see this live stream. Yeah, well, I guess there are no questions related to the IELTS test anymore, right? Guys, are you interested in the test or not? Do you want to pass the test or not? You should be able, you know, you should be motivated to take the test. By the way, I'm just gonna say that you might need IELTS if you want to go abroad. I mean, immigrate, if you are planning to relocate to an English-speaking country. Legally, you might need the IELTS test. You might need to take the IELTS test if your boss or manager or your company requires you to do it. I know that some organizations want their workers, their employees, to take the IELTS test. You might need to take the IELTS test. You will probably need to take the IELTS test if you're going to go to university and study in English. So think about these things. Are you going to do these things? Do you need to do these things? If yes, then you are in the right place in the speaking chat, in this chat. If not, then I don't know. Maybe just, you know, get some tips for speaking. Ines, I don't know why you're so interested in me pronouncing this. So guys, I want to add something here about the IELTS speaking test. Just about the format of the test, you know, maybe you don't know about the structure. So the test normally takes from 11 to 15 minutes, so it's quite a short period of time. So 11 to 15 minutes. it is conditionally divided into 3 parts, but you will probably not feel those parts, how those parts, flow from one into another, because that happens so quickly. So part 1, the examiner will ask you just some warm-up questions like, like what's your favorite color? They can ask you what kind of weather do you like? You might feel like they're really simple questions, but nevertheless you have to be ready to answer them, and they're like a warm-up. The teacher will ask you, the examiner, excuse me, will ask you those questions to make you feel a bit comfortable, with those questions. Part 2, in part 2, you will get a card. The card will have the question written on it, and you will get that card, you will be able to see that card all along. And you will have time to prepare for the answers. You will have 1 minute to prepare and then 2 minutes to speak about it. And after you finish with that, you get to part 3, where the examiner asks you more complicated, more complex questions. More like, something like, do you think in the age of the internet, people have become less smart? I don't know, something like that, something. Yeah, you have to think about it. You have to stop and think, oh, you might have never even thought about this before you hear that question. But when you prepare for the test at home, before the test day, you will of course see lots of questions like that, and you will probably cover a lot of topics. So let me just have a look at some of your questions. Let me see. Why don't you answer me? This person, MMM, right? I don't remember the question. Can you please repeat your question? Hello, do you teach English? Hakan Yilmaz, right? So I do not teach private students. I mean, I don't have one-to-one classes or group classes, but I do have courses. I have online courses. I have online videos, lots of information for free, and some information is paid, like my courses, which are on Udemy website. You can, by the way, you can get a link in my profile. If you can't find it, you can email me. It's also on my profile. You can follow me on Instagram if you have any questions regarding my videos or regarding my courses. Okay, that's how I teach. And I think that, my lessons, which are in the form of the videos, trust me, they're much, much better than if I was teaching you live, like sitting and teaching you, because the information in the videos, the information in my video lessons is so structured and so organized, and I had prepared for it, for those videos, the scripts, the information, for a long time. There's a lot of thought put into it. There's a lot of work put into those videos, right? So anyways, just you can watch my videos and you can learn a lot from those videos. So I can see there are no more questions related to English, right? No questions related to English, no more questions related to the IELTS test. Well, guys, that's it for now, I think. I'll be back with some more information on the IELTS test, other sections as well, also speaking section. Many, many, many things are to come. So I wish you all to have a great day. I wish you to, if you're preparing, best of luck with your test. Let me know if you have any questions. You can follow me on Facebook or on Instagram regarding my courses, regarding my videos. You can write your comments below the videos, in the comment section, and I will address them. All right. Wish you all to have a good night or day wherever you are. Goodbye. Have a good Have a good day.